Hi, it's Mai here with my Friday reads. I'm currently reading Ombria in Shadow by Patricia A. McKillip. I'm only 66 pages in and this is about a 300-page book, so I don't know much about the main plot yet. But the ruler of Ombria has died and his son is now the prince, but the son is very young, and the ruler's or his son's great aunt is now in charge of this state, and she sort of wants to keep control. There's also a young woman who used to be the mistress of the prince who passed away, and she has now been forced to leave the castle and go back to live with her father. And then there's also a sorcerer's sort of helper or apprentice who lives under the city itself in the old sunken parts of the city and helps the sorceress make spells to a lot of different people, including the great aunt who now rules the whole of Ombria. And there's also the bastard of the ruler's sister, so he sort of has somewhat of a claim to the throne. So I'm really interested in this one. I really like the writing style. It's quite poetic even. I wouldn't say fairy tale like, even though with the cover illustration and the poetic writing style, it sort of reminds me of fairy tale. But I'm really intrigued and I'm glad I finally picked this one up. It's been on my radar forever. I have never read anything from Patricia A. McKillip before, so I thought it was high time to fix that. And yeah, this is my current read. And I also just got a few things from the library. Some of my reservations came in. So I have the third book in Emma Newman's The Split World series. This is called All is Fair. And this is well, I can't say the final book, but back when they came out, these three came out. But now there are more books coming out in this series, so I'm not quite sure how they follow on from this one, if this ends sort of this trilogy and the second one starts with new characters, or if this is the same story that continues. But anyway, I have this. This is a story where there are a few different worlds. There's our world and a fairy world, and this magical world where there are these noble families who are sort of governed over by the fairies. And it's quite interesting. I like the fairies and I like the world, but it hasn't really gripped me so much that I would say that I love it. But I think they are fun reads and I do like the main character. I also got another Emma Newman book. I got Planetfall, and this is her science fiction book, which you might have seen around on BookTube. It's quite new. I think it came out last year. Yes, it says 2015. So I actually don't know a lot about this one. I think it's about a human colony in space. And apparently the main character is the colony's 3D printer engineer. But that's about all I know about it. But I've heard great things, so I'm glad I finally have it. And another reservation that came in is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by Jack Thorne, J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany and Jack Thorne, but I think this is written by Jack Thorne. And I actually reserved this before I knew that there was the other version of this book coming out next year. But since I had already reserved it, I thought, what the hell, I was about person number 50 back when I reserved it. So now I have it. I've heard mixed things, but I think this will be a quick and interesting read. And finally from Overdrive I have The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps by Sky Ashante Wilson. This is one that I actually don't know if I have the time to read it just now, but I will definitely read it sometime. But I just felt like borrowing it from the library because a couple of people had just now read it and said great things. It's been on my to be read list ever since it came out, but I haven't just gotten around to it yet. So that was the book that I'm currently reading and a couple of books I got from the library. In other news, there's a film festival starting here in Finland soon, and I like to take part in it every year. It's called the Helsinki International Film Festival, which makes it sound more serious because the subtitle to it is Love and Anarchy, and that is actually the Finnish name Rakkautta ja Anarkia. So that's the way we refer to it in Finnish all the time, Love and Anarchy. So that sort of tells you a bit more about what sort of movies there are. The things I like the most is there are movies from all around the world, and there is also a lot of genre movies and a lot of animations. A couple of things that I'm really excited to go see are Under the Shadow, which is an Iranian horror movie. Hunt for the Wilder People, which is this fun movie by Taika Waititi, who did the What We Do in the Shadows vampire movie, which I really found so hilarious. I think it's about a boy and his uncle running around in the forests of New Zealand with some cops looking for them or something. Anyway, I think it'll be quite fun. I'm also going to see a Korean zombie movie called Train to Busan, which has zombies on a train. And then The Handmaiden by Chan-woo Park, which I've heard looks really great. And I don't know if it's as dark as his other movies. I think I heard that it isn't, but who knows. There were also screenings of The Girl with All the Gifts and Monster Calls, but I think those are coming to the regular movie theaters here in Finland as well. So, and they only had one screening at the festival, so I skipped those and rather spent those tickets to see other movies. I'm really excited about the festival because we don't get a lot of movies outside of the US and Britain here in Finland normally. So it's great to see a lot of Asian movies, for example. Oh, there's also a bookish movie that I'm going to go see. It's called A Quiet Passion and it's about Emily Dickinson. So how has your week been going? Let me know what you're reading, as well as if you have some favorite film festivals or genre film festivals. Let's talk more in the comments. I'll see you in my next video.